I like to make a video covering the Runescape economy every now and then, and right now some items are hitting all-time highs while others are dropping mysteriously. Let's talk about it, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. About half of you aren't subscribed. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Let's get started. The spider leg reached its all-time high back in January 2023 and is currently going back up to the price it was around Necromancy's release. The average price to perk out your gear with the biting perk and its variants is directly tied to the price of a spider leg and the noxious weapons created with the item. Perhaps more people are currently realizing they either need noxious weapons or need to reperk their gear for the Sanctum of Rebirth update. Now, many of the PvM supplies that are going up right now 100% have to do with the fact that tomorrow the Sanctum of Rebirth releases into the live game, and this is a boss dungeon, and obviously a lot of players are going to be using Necromancy, and thus Necromancy runes are going up in price, and I expect these to continue to go up throughout the next week. If you're looking to make some money for rune crafting, necrotic rune crafting is going to be even more profitable, especially considering the recent update adding the Underworld Grimoire upgrades, which will increase your chance to get an additional rune when using Impure Essence. One of the game's most clunky features was, or still is, the vulnerability spell, especially with other combat styles. Well, the vulnerability bomb released years ago is the solution, and these are unsurprisingly bolting up in price. Perhaps they'll get close to the previous all-time high in February 2022. We'll just have to wait and see. What I don't understand though is why are cannonballs going up in price? Do people expect to see any mobs in this new boss dungeon? Because it's literally a boss dungeon. There will be no mobs, at least in the dungeon. Or people are expecting some kind of slay creature to be added. I don't know, but I don't see why cannonballs are bolting up in price. This is not an elite dungeon, it's going to be a boss dungeon with 3 bosses only. Similarly, I'm kind of surprised at Blood Reavers going up in price because these bosses have been confirmed to be not poisonable despite the test build in the trailer showing poison splats. You know, Blood Reavers are still a fantastic familiar, don't get me wrong, and they allow you to heal with the scrolls, so maybe that's what's going on. But Ripper Demons aren't going up in value. Why? Helgarian Demons, on the other hand, are getting close to the previous all-time high, which isn't really surprising. What all of this means is basically that if you want to make a lot of easy money, you should go ahead and create some binding Blood Reaver contracts right now, as it's going to be amazing money. These pouches are pushing 200k GP in the G. Super restores also seem to be going up big time, especially the 6-dose flasks, and again, this is simply because of that Sanctum of Rebirth PvM update coming next Monday. What surprised me though is that some of the other foods, let's say Silfish and Sourdough and Brews, aren't really going up as big. Well, Sourdough and Brews are going up, but they just crashed earlier as well. They're like spiking up and down. It's kind of weird. Silfish, you know, they're going up, but they don't really seem to be going up like the Super Restore 6 flask or the vulnerability bombs. Sharks, on the other hand, seem to be going up way more than the Silfish. Maybe because, you know, mid-game PvMers are thinking, hey, I can possibly do this content thanks to the new death mechanics, maybe I should try. I have the same thing with Grimoire, Jazz, and full pages. They don't really seem to be going up all that much. In fact, Grimoire pages were crashing. They are going up now, but like, it's just not as substantial of an increase compared to some of the other items. If you want to see some items that are truly spiking up in value because of the upcoming PvM update, have a look at Blue Blubber Jellyfish. These things are more than 16,000 GP right now. And its younger brother, the Green Blue Blubber Jellyfish, which isn't all that less effective, is 1/4 of the price and is pushing 4.4k right now. It is absolutely nutty. I remember buying like, I don't know how many, like thousands of these for 500 GP each, maybe like 1 or 2 years ago. People have finally figured out that Green Blue Blubber Jellyfish just heal a little bit less and do pretty much the exact same thing and are going to be effective for most players. The blues are just a little bit better. The greens literally 8x'd in price in just a year. Right now, I wish I bought way more of these in hindsight. What the hell happened to big pages? They literally went beyond 14 million GP per page, making them the most expensive Godbook pages in RuneScape ever. That is... Whew! If you aren't doing Croesus because you hate the boss, at least go ahead and do a quick run back and forth every now and then to the Croesus front, click one of the skilling resource nodes, and get yourself these scripts. If you're not sure what I'm talking about right now, go ahead and check the video in the description down below, as I made a video or money making guide. You cannot be missing out on this. It is just such easy money. It's absurd. Now, big pages are used to get a bunch of clue scrolls, and right now, the items you get from clue scrolls, aside from dyes, are dropping hard in price. And the reason for that is because a lot of players are finishing up their sandy clues, which you should absolutely be doing because you get fortune components or items that give you fortune components when disassembled, and those are always solid money, and they're really easy to do. Anyone can do this. Just know that right now they're dropping in price, so you might have a little bit of a hard time selling them, but potentially what you could do is hold on to those fortune component items and then sell them in a month or two. Remember how moonstones were dropping in price because pretty much no one needed them anymore after making the jewelry? Well, Jagex added a new achievement set to the City of aka the Underworld, and one of those achievements included creating a passing bracelet inside the City of So yeah, they're going back up again, but not for long probably. We've had some new combat and scaling updates recently, and we have a combat update coming up, and divine charges are going up big time. In fact, they're getting close to their previous all-time high in 2020, so nearly 4 years back, which is definitely worth a mention. This in turn also means that the energy used to create divine charges is going up, and we can clearly see that in the higher tier energies being luminous and incandescent energy. It's possible that an increase in usage of signs of the portal around the Daemon Dig site also had an effect on the price of energies, although if we take a closer look to, let's say, Dragonstone Necklace used to create a sign of the Porter 6, it only really spiked after the Daemon Dig site release and then kind of went back down. If you're wondering why certain log types like Elder and Acadia logs are going up in price, I'm not sure if this is the only cause, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that more people, and perhaps due to my video not too long ago, are realizing that Fort for Infantry construction is pretty much the only way you should be training construction all the way to 120 or even 200 mil. It's a laid back, super AFK, and just yep, well, it is expensive, but it is super laid back in AFK. Remember that. Save your fingers. Although I'm not implying that my video is the main cause here, it's just that it might have helped spread the word. Though I'm not oblivious that certain videos I make do have an immediate effect on the market in the short term. Granule spikes used to create extreme ranging potions continue to drop, and I think the new offhand might have a small part in this. Skeka's Hypno 1 does make using box traps more effective, and guess what traps you use for Grand Walls? Box traps. If you're planning on training prayer, certain bones have already been dropping in price, but some of the classics have finally started to drop due to market fear around the auto-banking feature of the new Underworld Grimoire 3 and 4, as we can clearly see a drop in Dragon and Frost Dragon bones because of the update. Frost Dragon bones have been really expensive ever since the Powder of Burials released. So that's some of the items that caught my attention by either looking at the GE or seeing other players talk about them on Discord. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.